Hey, so don't get used to anything you see today because I have no idea where this is going to go or how it's going to go. But here's what I know. It's been a long time coming and I had to start somewhere. So this is where I'm going to start. It's Hey Micki. I have been wanting to do Hey Micki for years. It's 2025 now, so I can safely say it's been over 5 years since I've had the idea for Hey Micki. And I would even venture to say maybe longer, but we'll just go with 5 because I know that for sure it's been over 5 years. What is Hey Micki? Hey Micki is a channel that I would like to, not even just a channel, it's a movement that I would like to bring to the world for several reasons. One reason is I would like to have children, and I want to be able to impart all of the things that I have learned unto my children without having to sit there face to face and teach them all those things. I just want to be able to share more than teach, but I also would like to use my sharing as a foundation for teaching. Then also, when it comes to how I'm sharing with Hey Micki, I like to explore. And one of the things I'd like to make sure my children and everyone else that I share with knows is that it's safe to explore and ask questions, because if you don't, it's actually a lot more dangerous. You might find out the answers you weren't even looking for because you didn't take the time to explore. So for me, Hey Micki is an outlet to remind me of what I've learned, to give me an excuse to explore and share, and then more importantly, to be able to share it with my children who are not yet here. Because to be honest, when they're born, I'd like to keep learning with them and exploring with them. And everything that I'm going to be imparting is going to be old. They won't be here yet, but it's going to already have passed. And so I don't mind revisiting, because of what I've learned in all these years of my life is that life is cyclical. And at the end of the day, you're going to come back around the same stuff. Nothing new under the sun. I think that's what Solomon said. And like, how real is that? It's so real. It's so real. There's really nothing new. Everything really overlaps and in layers. And truthfully, like, the more we dig in and the more we learn, the more we realize that things are really repeating themselves in a lot of different ways. We're expressing the same few ideas in many, many, many different ways, and making them more complex and giving them more personality or depth or color, contrast, all of that. But it's really all the same at the end of the day. And what is that? I don't know yet. I want to say love, but gosh, love is such a loaded word, and it has a lot of different meanings that it's been given. So it's hard to really say that love, by the definitions that exist, could truly define what all is, but truly we know that all is love. I mean, in a lot of religion, especially Christianity, because I don't know all the other religions yet, because I'm going to explore those, but love is supposed to be the founding, I guess, theme, right? I would think. Because what's the point of living without love? And we can't explain it all, but it really is the thing that drives us, and it gives us the most, even when it's low. I am so excited about exploring all the things that I want to explore, though. I'm really looking forward to sharing it with whomever you are, because you is me, but you is whoever you are that calls yourself me. Like, I am me, but when you talk about yourself, you are also me. So I'm looking forward to sharing with all the me's that tune in. Okay, so more about Hey Micki. So let's see. I love expressing. I classify myself as an expressionist. Now, this is not a term I've heard someone else say, I don't think. Or if I did hear it, I heard it once and said, that's mine. But I don't remember where I heard it. And unfortunately, I'm not great yet at recalling all the things that I've encountered. One of the things I'd like to work on throughout this whole journey is my memory. I want to remember the things that I've experienced because I want to experience new things instead of having to experience the same things and then be reminded that I already experienced them before, or not reminded. Because I tell you what, I just watched all the Despicable Me's of all the things, all the Despicable Me's just in like a very short period of time over this weekend, just to have it on. It was something to have on because it's fun and it's cute, but at the end of the day, one thing that I recognized was that I don't remember most of the Despicable Me's that I watched. Like, I remembered bits and pieces, but I'm like, is this the same movie that I watched before? Because I don't remember this. And so I was thoroughly entertained, of course. But in spite of that, like, I had watched all the movies. I know I did, because I'm a big fan of the Minions. And I saw Minions too, also. I didn't watch that recently, but I definitely watched it when it came out. Love Minions. Seen it at least twice. And I don't remember a lot of the things. And I wonder, like, with the whole Mandela effect and whatnot, did something change? Or do I just not remember? Because that's the thing about the Mandela effect and what it represents, is that it's questioning whether the memories of the people who remember things different is off, or if things have changed. And how do you prove it? And there's really no way to prove it. There's really no way to prove it. But here's the other side of that. I've looked at things that I've written, and I don't remember writing them. But they're things that I've written. So I must have written them. They're thoughts I must have had. But they came and they went, and now is the present moment. So they're just the past. So that's another reason why Hey Micki is important to me, because it's kind of like a form of art that allows me to express who I am now. Because when I become who I am to be, I won't be the same me I am now. And who the same me I was when I maybe originated some of the thoughts or am reflecting on what I've experienced in my past. So this channel, Hey Micki, or It's Hey Micki, is what it currently is. That can change too, because what's the first thing I said? Don't expect anything that you see today to be the same a year or several years from now. It could be. There could be something that's the same. I hope the one thing that is the same is that it's me. But other than that part, like, I can't think of anything in my life that has been that consistent that you can say 5, 10, 15, 20, 3, 1, half, a quarter of years ago. It's still the same. Like, I do like this. You might have caught this a few years ago. But even that's changed, because this is like today. And maybe like the last couple of weeks for a reason. So we're going to have a lot of things change. But that has been my life too. I have constantly morphed, and I've constantly been through changes. I've been through a lot. And I look forward to using this channel, this platform, and whatever else this turns into being, as a way to express and share my story, not just with you, the me on the other side of the screen, but with me, because it gives me the opportunity to reflect. And I've noticed that it is a lot easier for me to reflect when I have a mirror, that's you, in front of me. That's the me of you. Okay, I'm doing too much. But when I have a mirror in front of me, then or someone else in lieu, like not a physical. Yeah, a physical mirror, I can reflect on myself and I can look and be like, But, and the camera does offer that, because I am currently filming on my phone, so I can look at myself if I want. Though I am doing my best to keep eye contact with you as opposed to looking at me, because when I look at me, it looks like I'm looking at me. And I'm not on here to look at me. Not from the outside, more from the inside. And I definitely feel like this is an opportunity for me to reflect on me. So this first episode, if you want to call it that, I don't know if I call it a whole episode, but a video is really to help me get out that first pancake. I love, oh my gosh. Okay, so let me talk about the first pancake. Got to. Okay, so the first pancake, I don't know where I heard it from. Don't fault me if you're the one who said it. All props to you. But where I first heard it, someone was like, they described it, your first pancake is not always your best pancake. Usually it's your worst pancake because you don't know what you're doing and you just gotta start somewhere. So it's usually a little lopsided, or it's burnt, or it's undercooked, or it's overcooked. Well, that's what burnt would be, but overcooked and burnt actually can be two different things. It might be a bad batter. Whatever the case is, it's the first one, but it's not going to necessarily be the best one. Sometimes your first can be your best. I know your first intuition is usually your best. Like whenever I'm guessing on something, my first is usually very much so my best. Usually that first guess, that first pick, that first thing, that first encounter is the thing that I end up circling back around to after I've tried everything else. And I'm like, you know what? Got it right the first time. So that's interesting because when I said that, it was 11:11 on the ticker. So, anywho. Oh, that's a crutch word, by the way. So, things about me. I am in Toastmasters right now. Love it. I am so glad that I joined Toastmasters. I honestly thought the accomplished speaker Les Brown was a member of Toastmasters because I know that around the time that I went to my first Toastmasters Club meeting, I heard about speaking from Les Brown, and I thought that I heard about Toastmasters from him, but maybe not. I know the first time I ever heard about Toastmasters was when I was working at Georgia Pacific many years ago. And I think I was even invited to attend, but I just never went. And I thought it was an interesting term because I'm like, Toastmasters? Like you're mastering how to make toast? Like close, but not quite. Toastmasters is mastering the toast. When you say, here, I'm going to remove, actually, you know what? I'll use my Smedley's Toastmasters cup here. I don't know if you can see that, boom. But I'd like to give for those who didn't get it before, I'd like to give a toast. So a toast is usually a short speech that's directed and intentional, and mastering how to do such is where the term Toastmasters, I would imagine, came from. Now, how accurate is that? I think Smedley was the founder because there's a lot of Smedley stuff. This cup has like Ralph Smedley on it. I don't know if you can even see that. But, and there's a new award that they're offering this year for clubs as well as districts called the Smedley's Award. So I like to believe that, no, Smedley. I keep adding an apostrophe S, but there is no apostrophe S. It's called the Smedley Award. And I'd like to believe that that's not just the founder, but that's kind of the idea he had. But here's what I will do, especially as I become more proficient in everything that I'm doing, because that's what this journey is about for me. Not just to explore and discover and share, but really to master, to become a master in many ways, not just of the toast. And so by some point, whatever then is, I will be able to clearly explain the origin of Toastmasters and why the name is Toastmaster and what Smedley was really thinking, or at least what he expressed he was thinking, because who knows, I don't think I can tap into the man's thoughts, but I don't know. We're going to find out what I'm going to learn along this journey, right? I think one of the things I'm going to probably do is film in horizontal, because I know better. So in addition to being a Toastmaster, I have a strong theatrical, thespianic, I just made that word up, but thespian is a real word, so get that right. Performing arts, artistic background. And, I don't know, did that affect me? Let's see. I'm going to put this light. It's not a light. It's actually, I don't know if that even impacted anything, but I had my screen up behind my phone, and I think it was providing a little light. So we're going to find out, because if it goes off again, I won't turn it back on, and we'll see what happens there, because this is the first. and there are going to be some mistakes, and I'm okay with the mistakes. I want the mistakes. I want this to be imperfect in a lot of ways, but still perfect for my first go, because I have really held out. It's been years. I've had a lot of people tell me, hey, look, you need to start your channel. But I'm not the most private person, but I don't want to share all my business. And I like to talk a lot, which is why I joined Toastmasters in the first place. Not just to become a professional speaker, because that is truly a desire and dream of mine, but to learn how to be more concise and say what I really mean with less words. Because too many words and you lose attention. I also have ADHD. Oh my God, so many things to learn about me along the way. And I am going to share. I'll try to keep some things private and personal. Oh, I'm not going to try. I will. I will keep a lot of things private and personal, but I also really like to share. And I feel like the more you know about me, the more you can relate to me or not relate, but then you can see a reflection or anti-reflection, I don't know what the right word would be, of yourself. So the more you know about me, the more you know about you. And the more I know about me, the more I know about you. And everyone else that I encounter. Because in so many words, we're all the same. But then we're all so different. I love it. I love it. I love every part of it. Okay, so back to my background. So I went to Performing Arts High School. And before I joined that high school, well, I had to audition. So before I was accepted into that high school, let's just be real, I had some experience with the arts. I know the first thing I remember that really stood out to me was in second grade. I had to audition for the leading ladybug role of our buggy. I think it was called Going Buggy. I don't know, but it was the play that we did in my second grade, at my school. And I just remember standing around the piano, learning the song, and having to do the audition. And I kind of remember how excited I was when I got the part, which was so cool. It was the first time I ever auditioned for anything, let alone got the part. And I had a little leading role. I had to get on stage. I had a boa I got to work. I had 2-verse song that I had to learn. And I had to hold a mic, honey. When I watch it back, I feel like I was just into the mic. But for a 7-year-old, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm underimpressed now, and I hope that means that I won't be too hard on my children if they choose to go into the arts, because I'm certainly not going to push them. But I think for where I was and what was going on in my life, for a second grade play with a school that was not performing arts, that was in Washington State. See, more new things. I think I did pretty good. I mean, apparently I did, because I won the audition. So that was my first time. I ended up going to several different schools beginning in 3rd grade. So that was 2nd grade. And halfway through 3rd grade, I went to a different school. 4th grade, a different school. 5th grade, a different school. 6th grade, 2 different schools. One for only a week, but still 2 different schools. Had to deal with that. It's my first time dealing with bullies, but fortunately they didn't physically bully me, but still, a bully's a bully. Not a fan. And then 7th grade, a different school. And then 8th grade, a different school. But 8th grade is where high school began. So technically, from 8th grade to 12th grade, I went to the same school, except for 1 year. Because my 11th grade year, I actually went to a different school. Needless to say, I've had to learn how to meet new people and fit in quickly. And I'm grateful for that. Oh, gosh, this is getting long. Well, this is not as long as it could be, because I could definitely talk for hours. Ask any of the friends who have been, I don't think it was a burden for them, because usually we have these long conversations, but they enjoy them. That's why they're so long. They're not yawning at me or like, okay, I gotta go. I have met some people I've had conversations with, and they were like, okay, I gotta go. Oh, let me check my other line. Okay, let me call you back. And they weren't going to ever. And I usually get it. And it's like, it's cool. We could just end it. Like, all I gotta do is tell me to stop. I'm just, because you're present, I'm indulging. But you're welcome to jump in. Not in this case, obviously, because I'm recording this. But I like conversation, and one of the things I plan to master greatly is the art of conversation. But for now, I'm just sharing. So my background, performing arts, I'm currently a Toastmaster. I have a lot more involvement than just being a member of Toastmasters. I'm glad to say Toastmasters doesn't just focus on speaking, it focuses on leadership, and it helps with a lot of skills you can use in business and pretty much anything. Because I definitely see the value and benefit of committees. When I worked on a film, I don't even know what it was. It wasn't quite a festival. It was just kind of like a premiere of a few different shorts. But my God, we needed a committee because too many chiefs, and the drama. And I definitely didn't appreciate the way that I was treated. But the feedback I had was, we need to have people in charge of each thing and get our freaking egos out the way. Of course, I didn't say that, but oh my God, the egos were like, yes, out of the screen. And it was ridiculous. And it's just like, we're all important here. You're not more important. I don't think I'm more important than you. Maybe because you think you're more important than me, you think that I think I'm more important than you, but I don't. And there was some like real imbalance in the whole situation. Gosh, ugh. Anywho, lessons were learned. And I look forward to sharing that with you too at some point in time. So we said Toastmasters, and I circled back around to that thing. Performing arts. I've lived in I've gone to many different schools. I actually lived in states in all four corners, but through my youth and adolescence, and youth, I think is the way that order of that, in teenage years, I stayed in the upper northwest Washington state and the southeast in Georgia. So, but in the entirety of my life where I have lived in the sense of this is my home, this is where I'm staying for at least a year, truly a year or so. I've lived also in New York and Los Angeles, or California, but definitely Los Angeles, California. New York was New York, New York. So I love that about New York. You can just say one and you kind of covered both, like whichever one you want, both. But I have lived in different parts of New York, but it was mainly like the Manhattan, New York area, and then like maybe a sub-city here and there, and then LA. So I've had all four corners of seasons, all four seasons in all four corners, and I've also gotten to know the people of the regions a little. Like, not enough to be like, I can tell you all about these people, but I can tell you about the people I encountered in those regions. Even Georgia. Like, I've lived in Georgia the majority of my life, and there's still new types of people that I meet on a regular basis. But that's people. That's another thing. I am a people person. I love people, but I also like being alone. And I don't know. I don't feel like I fit into a box. So it's hard to say that I fall one way or the other. I'm both introverted and extrovert. Like, I'm a major extrovert. I'm not afraid to speak to people, but I think that's because of some of the experiences that I've had and some of the training and some of the opportunities and the people that I've exposed myself to. But here's the thing. I'm also an empath. So, little things about me. I mentioned the ADHD. I also have empathic abilities, I guess is the right word, but I don't fully understand all of them, so don't ask me. But empaths in general can feel what others are feeling. Not always with explanation and not always knowing that it's somebody else's feelings. So sometimes I have felt feelings that I thought were mine and they were somebody else's. And I'm responding thinking I'm crazy, but it was actually, I'm just being sensitive to somebody else in the room, or someone else whose energy is reaching out to me, which has definitely grown since I've gotten older to more distance, whereas before it might have just been those in the vicinity of me. But there's a lot of different types of empaths. Another thing I look forward to diving into on Hey Micki. So let's see what else we got. Empath, ADHD, performing arts, speaking. I have a corporate background, but I'll use that for some of what we talk about, because the truth is, like, I've worked in different types of environments, and working in corporate, has given me a lot of skills and exposure that I wouldn't have otherwise had outside of that. So I enjoyed a lot of aspects of working in corporate. Now, would I do it again? Only for a purpose. I won't say no. If there's something I can gain that fits my bigger picture, my bigger vision, and my purpose, yes, I will. I will work in corporate again. But am I throwing out resumes on a regular basis in order to try to get these gigs? No. I really don't like a lot of things about working in corporate environments. And it's mainly about the mindset of the people. And most importantly, the mindset of those who are not in the highest level of leadership. Because usually those in the highest level of leadership, not always, because this is definitely not always the case, but they usually have the bigger vision for the customer and for the product and service being offered. Now, of course, this is not always the case as we become more and more capitalistic and selfish by nature as an entire, oh, I didn't realize I was turning it, as an entire, I don't even know, world? I didn't say the universe, but, or country, but it's the world. But for the most part, the person who started the organization, they usually have the customer and service in mind. And often the leaders at the very tippy top are upholding that service and less concerned with the capitalistic aspect. But once again, not quite what it is these days. We definitely have a lot more greedy at the top than we did before. I mean, I think, let me not impart my opinion fully right now. We have plenty, and I mean plenty, of episodes, videos, shorts, or whatever it's gonna be for me to express my opinion. And I promise you I will. But with my opinion, I'm also going to express facts because I don't want to be so biased. And if you don't agree with my opinion, I love that. I want to see anti-opinions in the comments. I don't want to see nastiness though. So off the rip, if especially you seeing this from the jump, I don't know if I'm going to make another video just for this part because I want to make sure all of y'all know we do not in my community. If I see ugly attitude, nasty, bullying, any of that stuff, and I have the ability, my personal self or through a team that I'm able to eventually develop, because right now I'm the team, but AI can become a part of my team. If I see people being ugly with their disagreements, you can disagree, but don't get ugly. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because I will kick you all the way out. And you can keep on coming back. And if you're going to be a problem person, I will meet you toe to toe. Because that ADHD, baby, it is very, very strong when it comes to focus. I will hyper focus on getting every single ant, like the little iPad thing where you can stamp out. I want every ant. I don't want no ants getting by. And I don't like any negative. It's not even negativity. I'm not afraid of negativity. I'm afraid of ugly. When you're just being rude. When you're doing to others that you don't want done to you. It's okay to disagree, though. I don't want everybody to agree. I think that that's unhealthy. If everybody were the same, we're just robots. And even robots aren't the same. Let's just be real. So let's not do that. But at the same time, if you're going to disagree and you get passionate about it, that's okay. But just don't get ugly. Just do what you would want a person who disagrees with you to do. Respond the way you would want them to. Respectfully. It can be a little passionate. You can even use some curse words if you really, really got to. Because curse words help relieve some things. Once again, we got a lot to talk about. But don't get ugly. Just don't do it. Because we're all... Love is, I think, highlighted with passion. When you care, that's love. But you can love something and hate it at the same time. I know those words seem like they're opposites, but I don't subscribe to that. I believe the opposite of love truly in its actionable form is oh gosh, should I lose the word? The opposite of love is, I can't remember the word, so I'm just going to describe it. The opposite of love is just not caring. It's apathetic. How I'm empathic, and I can have, but being empathic and having empathy are two different things. Empathy is actually when you like feel what somebody else feels because you experienced it, which is why I think empath and empathic, being empathetic and being empathic are similar but still different, because an empath can physically and emotionally heavily feel something, whereas somebody who's empathetic had an experience that was similar and therefore can understand what it's like to feel that way. Like if you stubbed your toe, and everybody's like, ooh, they're empathetic to you stubbing your toe because they stubbed their toe. That's that. But I think apathy is the opposite of empathy. And it means that you just don't feel anything. And I think a lot of cognitive dissonance, a lot of the way that we separate ourselves and act like things are okay when they're not, a lot of gaslighting, a lot of the way that we as a society are able to ignore things that are like blazing in our face and act like, oh, it's ghosting is the worst thing on the planet. If you are a person who ghosts, just get off my channel. That's it. And when I mean ghost, I don't mean like not answering a person's phone call, though that's kind of rude. It is rude. But I mean, if somebody is standing dead in front of you and you can see them with your whole eyeballs and you act like they don't exist, just leave. Come back when you have a soul, because to me that is a soulless thing to do. You would not want somebody to do that to you. Don't do that to other people. Honestly, to me, I know there's many forms of abuse that can exist, but that's one of the highest forms of abuse. I think it's in the top. I know there's other versions of abuse, and so I'm not going to diminish those because they can get pretty ugly. They can get much uglier. I don't want to say pretty ugly. They can get way uglier. But that's up there. And that's, to me, that's probably, like, that's the kind of person I just don't want to be around. I don't want your energy. I don't want to connect with that. And if you are that way and you're still here, I hope that we can warm that heart up of yours and bring your soul back to the present, because I really don't think that that's a way to live. You think you're hurting the other person, but you're hurting you too. You're hurting you too. And I've done it, so don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's okay. And I didn't feel good doing it. And I definitely don't condone someone doing it to me or anyone else. So, but I think it's a major issue in our society today anyway, so maybe I'm speaking a little ahead of myself. But I'm not afraid to lose people I don't already have. I don't even have, right now I'm at 0 subscribers. So whatever happens from this point on is a win. Whether it's one, because we'll see if I'm going to share this with people who already know me. But truth be told, I don't know. I'd rather they just find me, because I really want to attract the people who are meant to be a part of this community. And I know once we get to the bigger version of Hey Micki, when it's a lot more entertaining and it's going to be really great editing and it's going to be lots of characters and all this fun stuff, that people are going to be attracted for one reason or another. But right now, those of you who are attracted because of this video, you're part of my soul community, my soul family. And it's going to go way beyond Hey Micki, because I have a lot of different things that I have an interest in doing. I have music that's already been released, but music that really hasn't been released, and music I really want to make. But life is life, and hunty. Life is lifing, and it's making it hard to even think in that direction. And then I have business ideas and businesses and projects that I'd like to bring to pass. And there's so much more. Like, I love people. So there's so many different ways I'd like to find and explore to connect with people. But Hey Micki specifically, as it develops out and we shake out all of these bits and pieces here, Hey Micki is going to be primarily about exploring life and having fun doing it. Digging deep and asking questions. Being inquisitive. I actually have an opening number already recorded and ready to go that basically describes what the whole purpose of the show is. And so that's where we're going to go with it. But I had to start somewhere. because I can't make a fully productive show, and I'm not even sure what how I want to include it. How do I want to open up? Who is me? I'm constantly changing. Like today I'm peace, but tomorrow I'll be like, love y'all. And then I like learn this version. Love y'all. I think it's cute, but it's also like really weird to do with my fingers. And I feel like I'm in what's it called? A gang. Because they got to do all kinds of strange things with their fingers to do those signs. And my fingers, they're nimble. But shoot, they ain't that nimble. I haven't practiced this. So it looks cute though when I look at this screen and see it. Like, But right now it's going to be peace. Because I'm all about peace. And I think peace is the second highest vibration on the scale. I'm going to be able come back and I'll be able to tell you what that scale is that I'm referring to, but it is I might be able to tell you sooner than later. I don't think I have a printout here. Oh, I do. Tripping. I got my new favorite book that has kind of like the most important documents to me for right now in them that I want to keep up with and have available. So this is that. The Map of Consciousness. So the Map of Consciousness by David R. Hawkins has all of these different levels listed, and they have frequencies associated with them. I think that's energetic frequencies. It has other information too, which is dope. But the most important thing to me is the fact that their energetic frequency, the vibration that they offer, the lowest is shame. And below shame, I've heard, is where you get into people taking their own lives. And the highest, my favorite, the highest is enlightenment. Enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Enlightenment is learning something new. Oh, enlightenment. It's not that deep. It's not, oh, I understand the purpose of the universe. No, enlightenment could be something as small as understanding why 2 + 2 really does equal 4. Like, oh, I never thought about it like that. Or how 4, 4, and 4 are 3 different words that all, there's more, there might actually be more than that, more than those 3 words that sound like 4, but I can't think of the other one. But 4, F-O-R, F-O-U-R, and F-O-R-E. 3 different 4s. I bet there's a 4 with like a P-H-O-R or something like that actually has a meaning. I just don't know it yet. But 4, 4, and 4 all have different meanings. But are they different? And that's something to explore. I don't know. But even just learning that there are 3 different words, even this what I just shared in random thought, to me, in my opinion, that was enlightenment, because I thought about it and it was like, it elevates the energy. But of course, when you're operating in it at a high level of enlightenment, it can elevate those around you. There's so much to it. There's so much. Oh my gosh. And the more you know, it's enlightenment, so the more you know, the more you can share, and the more you can bring others into enlightenment and elevate the frequency. But right below enlightenment is peace. I mean, peace is at the energetic frequency, according to the Map of Consciousness by David Hawkins, of 600, but enlightenment is at the energetic frequency range of 700 to 1,000. So that's big, if you ask me, that you can really take it up to another level. And love is at 500, which is like half of the height of enlightenment. So if you can be like operating in your highest enlightenment, you can elevate some people up to love, because that's only half. And imagine that. Oh, there's so much more to say to that, but I'm sure we'll do some kind of like scientific experiment or something physical and visible to express how that works. But for now, this is what it is. In summary, that's one of my favorite things, and I definitely plan on operating in that. Maybe I'll have like peace, love, and enlightenment. I'll have like a nice little quick sign. Like it'll be like I don't know. Like, it'll be like peace with enlightenment. That's that right there. It's a little crooked piece. I don't know. Peace. Well, that was peace and love. So I don't know what enlightenment would be like. At the brain, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe somebody has a suggestion too. I'm definitely down. I love hearing other people's thoughts. I love knowing what other people would suggest. At this stage right now, you're part of my community. You and I are basically besties, and I'm going to see everything that you send me, and I'm going to care. I'm going to care. So send it, because I'm going to see it. Now, when it gets big, which, although that's to be seen, because, you know, I can't foresee how things are going to go, but with the belief that things are going to get, that it's going to get bigger, and that there's going to be an expansion, and there's going to be more people in this community, or, ooh, I guess I'm getting tired. It's about time to wrap it up. Hey Micki. Well, it is definitely time, because this is long. This is not short. But this is an introduction to me, so if you're still here, dope. If not, my feelings are not hurt, but you're missing out on, like, learning a little more about me before I show you a little bit more about me. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I forgot what I was going to say. I didn't forget, but I kind of forgot. We're going to, it's going to change. We're going to elevate. We're going to learn. Hey, Micki's going to explore. I have no idea what I was going to say. And I'm not about to stop this thing and rewind it to figure it out. So all I'm saying is just stick. Oh, yeah, I was telling you about how, as a member of my community, especially in the early stages, I'm going to see everything you send. So please, any suggestions, requests. Am I going to comply with everything? No. Sorry in advance. And I'm not sorry. I don't actually like that word. But forgive me in advance that I may not take your suggestion or request and roll with it, or even have the opportunity to address it, or I may choose not to address it, especially if I feel like it's inappropriate. However, just because I don't address something doesn't mean that I am dismissing it or rejecting it. It may just be a matter of time and circumstance, or I may want to do some research before I say something and put it out there, because it takes time. It takes time to do all this. I don't know how people do the whole content creation thing, because you got to make it, you got to edit it. Oh my God, I'm posting this thing like raw. Y'all is getting me on me. So this thing is long, but you can fast forward, rewind, put it on high speed. I am a big fan of that. I don't know how that affects the payment, but that's not what we're here for right now. I don't hope it's never why we're here, but it is something that's important. But, like, by all means, if you can take it all in at double speed, take it all in at double speed, because I'm a fan of that. I do that. I definitely do that. But my point is, I want to hear what you have to say. And if I don't get around to it, oh yeah, that's right, forgive me. I was going on the list of all the things that people who create content have to do, and how I don't understand how they have time to reply to comments when they have to film and edit and also, like, live their lives. Like, you still gotta wake up, brush your teeth, take a shower. You gotta eat. I forget to eat sometimes, and I'm working on it, and I'm definitely getting better. But by all means, how do you keep up with all of that? And also be able to be on social media and look at everybody's stuff and comment, and I don't even understand it. And then do your own stuff. Post and create. Honey. So, but I'm about to find out, because I used to be able to do a lot more than I've been doing. But I kind of like this, like, slower pace that I've embraced. But I still like a fast pace. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't like the hustle. And I don't like missing stuff. And the more I've learned about life, and I've learned about energy and this experience as a whole, the more I want to just take it all in and relieve myself of the things that don't serve me. But I do want to take it all in, because all the things that do serve me, they're worth my time and they're worth my attention. Just like you. Thank you for giving me your time and attention up to this point. If you're still here, I love this when the content creators do this, because I definitely, I'm a big one that does it. If you're still here, please include in your comment, because I might ask you to comment something else, but please include a 100 emoji. That's easy. And then everybody can find a 100 emoji, you know, the 100 with the line underneath. So include a 100 emoji. I did that. Wow, it's funny because it looks proper, but it's backwards. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. The 100 emoji, the little red 100 that's underlined. And so I know that you're still rocking with me. And since we're at 45 minutes on my clock, I am going to see how long this whole thing is going to take to upload, but I'm going to give you about a few more minutes of information and then we're out. Because here where I'm at in real time, it is 8 p.m. And I just had to push myself. I had to, because I have been waiting too long to connect with you all. And I keep getting the messages that my voice needs to be heard. So this is just me getting it all out, flushing out the gunk. It's going to be rare, and hopefully you'll never get a message this long that's so random. But I'm going to do my best to leave this one up as long as I can as an introduction so that you can just meet my personality, learn a little bit about me, and decide that I'm going to be your bestie for life because I have your best interest in my mind and in my heart. Actually, first it's in my heart, then it's in my mind. But I'm always going to have my best interest, your best interest. Ooh, was that Freudian? Why? Yeah, your best interest is my best interest. And I'm always going to have that in the forefront because I just want to share my truth. The more I'm able to share my truth, I think the more courage it may give you to share yours. And that's part of, so, okay, I guess this will be the thing that I talk about to kind of wrap it up, if you will. We'll see, because you know better than I know, because you can see how long this thing is, and I only know the present moment for me. But one of the main things beside people need to hear your voice that I've heard is people will be inspired to be themselves because you're being you. That is truly my desire, is to encourage others to embrace all that they are. We, in my opinion, in my philosophy of life, we are droplets from the source. We are droplets of God. And one thing is, a droplet that comes from a rain cloud doesn't look like the cloud. It doesn't look like the droplet next to it. And it doesn't look like any other droplet that is to come or that has come. And even if it's similar, it's still different. Even if we have similar experiences and similar perspectives and similar attributes, we're still different. We're all different. Your lens is going to be different than my lens for whatever reason. And there are a lot of reasons. So one thing I'm not interested in is isolating people out. Now, I might share my specific lens's perspective because, as you can visibly see, I am a woman. I am a woman of color in America. I speak English, and therefore I have that perspective of things. I speak English from a Washington State trained, Georgia raised perspective with a New York and an LA influence. But I've been a lot of places. I've been a lot more places than just those. I just lived there in those 4 places. I have the performing arts background. I was also a chemistry major when I went to college early, and also when I went back to college after graduating high school. So I love science. I'm a huge science fan, and I'm also a huge math fan. I love math. 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 I enjoy it. I like the logic and the factuality of math. That's not a word. I just made it up. I just want to make sure I clarify that because I don't want y'all using words I made up like they're real, if anybody does that. But I like how math is provable, that if you got the answer correct, you can prove it, period. And if you didn't, then you'll be able to find that out when you try to prove it. It's not, what is that word? There's these 2 words. One starts with a D and one starts with it starts with an O. I do that a lot. I think of letters that have nothing to do with the actual word, but the word is objective. No D anywhere in the word at all, none. And the other word is subjective. So that was the 2 words that I wanted to use. And math, I believe, is very, very objective. or subjective? Well, the great news is I am directly in front of my laptop, my computer laptop situation. Well, that's how I'm going to put it. Objective versus subjective. I'm going to practice this because it's something I definitely want to do with y'all. Objective is based on facts. So yes, I was correct. Math is objective. It's based on facts and it's not influenced by personal feelings, while subjective means it is based on personal feelings, tastes, or opinions. I'm going to give you both on this whole journey that we go on together. You will get the objective information because I love objective information. I love the facts. But I also want to give you the subjective because my lens me to give you information that is, filtered and may give you a different insight than you would have through your lens, because both of our lenses count. And I want to hear and see what other ideas you might have to offer, because it might expand my vision through my lens, through your lens, and then also others. One thing that I recently had a class that I took, and the teacher said something to the tune of, it's important that we all participate, or that we participate so that we can learn from one another. So it's not just so that you can learn. You might have a question you know the answer to, but by asking that question, somebody who doesn't know the answer now has that answer, or even knows to ask that question. You might ask that question to expand on it, but they didn't even know the thing existed to be expanded on. So I think engagement from those who are present is going to be just as important as what I have to share. I think it's more of a community when it all comes together. I think people call it, what have I heard lately? This collective is what I've heard lately. I like community because it's common unity, and I'm the common unity in this case. Okay, it's me. I'm the common one that's unifying everybody who's here. But at the end of the day, I'm the cornerstone. I'm starting this, but I'm not the entire structure. All of you are here, and all of you matter, and you can become your own common point that connect others and connect us. But I'm here to just create a marker. Let's see. I mentioned the performing arts. I've mentioned the Toastmasters. I've mentioned the ADHD. I've mentioned the empathy. I've mentioned travel, or that I've lived in a lot of places. I have traveled some places, but golly, I don't feel like I have traveled enough. But I can say I've been well over 10 places, maybe over 20. But most places I've been have been in the United States. I have been out of the country though, and I do plan on getting more stamps on my passport. I would love to travel as like my lifestyle period, but I also do like doing some things in America. I know I look to the left on that one. I think that means that you're lying. I don't know. I feel like I was. But I do want to do things in America. I'm very grateful to be in America as well, and to be an American. That whatever had to get me to this point to be here, I'm here. And I'm grateful to be here. And I've met some wonderful people here, so I definitely can't say that America ain't done me right. I've met some great people here. And I've had some great experiences here that I do believe would have been more challenging to acquire had I been born in another country or lived my whole life thus far in another country. Depends on the country, though, of course. Can't say. All right, so wrapping it up. Let's see. There's so many things I know I haven't mentioned that I look forward to mentioning. Here's what I can say, just getting things out of my system, is if you're closed-minded, this is not going to be for you. Unless you want to open your mind a little more, then it is. I don't want to reject anyone who wants to be here, but I will not accept anyone who is disrespectful or rude to me or to anyone else who's a part of the community. Even if someone is out of pocket and says some things that are wrong, or just irate, or just being like, by all means, let me know and we can remove them if it's really an issue, or we're going to learn how to silence them so that they no longer can be disturbance. But I think everybody deserves a chance. And then those who don't, like they're bots or freaking trolls or anything, they need to go. They need to go. We ain't having that. I am not afraid to let folks go, but I'm also willing to let everyone have at least one chance. At least one. Like, maybe you might get more than one. I've given a lot. I mean, way too many people, if I'm going to be very honest. And this is one of the things that might change, because what was the first thing I said is, like, everything may change. But I have been the person that's given a lot of people way too many chances. And they have proven over and over again why they didn't deserve another chance. And yet I still gave them another chance. I still gave them another chance. And they usually have proved me wrong for giving them that other chance. Like, look, you knew the first time. This second time, I'm leaning in. I'm going to be ruder. I'm going to be louder. I'm going to be grosser. Because you brought me back in spite of what I showed you. But I love that quote by Maya Angelou that says, when people show you who they are, trust them or believe them, or however she said it, because I'm not good at quoting verbatim. But what I can say is it was something along those lines. And I'm going to get better about quoting verbatim. Just not good at it right now. Not right now. So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure, like, what you see, like, I like being natural. I'm a natural girly. I know this isn't technically natural, but my hair that's underneath it is natural. Okay? Every part of my hair, every color, because I got like 4 colors in my hair. It's all natural. But I like, look, I like to flip. I feel like long hair is feminine, and I like a little flip. So, anyway, but I don't even know what my point was. Long story short, I do want to give everybody I don't know why I say long story short either, because usually it's long story longer, right? I want to give everybody a chance, and a second chance when deserved and asked for, and proven to be worth giving. Because that's the other part that I've learned is, like, if people don't ask, don't just give it to them. Don't just give it to them. I hope I might have this gem to drop again. If somebody doesn't ask you for a second chance, don't give it to them. Don't volunteer one for them. I volunteered excuses for so many people who didn't even look for them. Unapologetic about their choices. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt they didn't even ask for, or a pass they didn't even request. And so they were expecting to keep getting them. Or they didn't even care about the one they were given. And so they were quick to violate that. I'm learning. Boundaries are very important. But also paying attention and being present, and being willing to say no even when someone does ask. If it's a no, it's a no. If it doesn't fit right, following the intuition, how does it make you feel? What do you already know? So anyway, I'm rambling at this point, and I yawned. And it's at 57 minutes and 57 seconds. Isn't that wild? That's wild. That's actually pretty wild. So I'm going to look up that number, 57, see what that means. So this is an eclectic channel. It's perfectly fine if this doesn't suit you. Maybe as I morph and become more of a focused and tailored channel, it'll suit you and you'll come back. But for those who want to know the me of me, and watch me as I grow and change along this journey and join me, welcome to my community. Welcome to Hey Micki. And that's why it's Hey Micki. All right. So at the end of this, since I'm just posting this, let me try all the things. Like, subscribe. I think everybody always says that stuff. Please like this so that way I know that you liked it. I know that it's easy, but okay, so you already have the 100% that you're going to put in the comment. Like this and put a thumbs up in the comment too if you liked it. I want to know who liked it and who's actually paying attention, because there are people who might like it, but they don't make it to the end. They're just showing love, and I appreciate it. I'll take it how it comes. But in this particular case, I'd like for you to actually put a thumbs up with your 100% emoji and let me know that you did actually like this and that you want to see more of me. And if you have any suggestions, requests, or anything of that nature, drop it in. I'd love to hear your thoughts and know what you're thinking. Also subscribe, because as I stated, I got 0 right now. So you were at ground 0. Let's see what happens next. All right. And on that note, I want you to know I love you. I love everyone, but I love you too. All right. Peace.